There was another postponement of the Ram Janmabhoomi case in the Supreme Court today. This after constitutional lawyer Rajiv Dhawan stood up and questioned Judge UU Lalit for having represented former UP Chief Minister and BJP leader Kalyan Singh in a highly tangential contempt of court matter. Now the question is this: is there a group, a lobby that somehow wants to derail and delay the Ram Janmabhoomi case, find some pretext, some reason to ensure that we go from one tariq to another and that there is no hearing? Because remember, you had Rajiv Dhawan stand up and say, you know, you've been a lawyer for Kalyan Singh, but it doesn't matter, you can continue. A judge like UU Lalit, highly respected, used to be a very seasoned lawyer before this, is obviously not going to accept it. He was upset, he recused himself, and what we have at the end of the day is just one more date in the Supreme Court at the end of the month. Here's the story.
The much-awaited start to the Ayodhya land title suit hearing was delayed yet again. The deferment of the hearing was caused by Justice UU Lalit opting out of the 5-judge bench. This was after the Council for the Muslim Petitioners raised the issue of the judge appearing in a related case in 1994 as a lawyer for former UP Chief Minister Kalyan Singh.
The court is now going to take up the matter on the 29th of January when it may lay down the timeline for the hearing.
The delay in hearing of the case drew sharp criticism and protests from the groups fighting for the construction of the Ram Mandir.
We're standing outside the Supreme Court right now and you can see the commotion which has started over here because there are several activists who have come over here demanding that the Ram temple and the Ayodhya matter be heard as soon as possible. But you can see that the cops are, in fact, I'll ask my camera person Pradeep to in fact follow me and just show you the pictures over here. You can see that all of them are being taken away by the cops because they've tried to stop the traffic over here.
Some even accuse the country's top court of purposely delaying the hearing.
They relate this matter with the elections. They want to decide the particular number of judges which will hear the matter. They want to decide which judges should hear the matter, and definitely they are not ready for hearing this matter. And precisely that's what happened in the court when he pointed out to Justice Lalit that you have appeared in the matter. It was just a mere pointing out, but it has a lot of message involved in it.
हमने सबूत पेश किया है, हम फैसला चाहते हैं. इससे पहले तो ये जो है कहते रहे कि हम कोर्ट की बात नहीं मानेंगे, हम ऑर्डिनेंस लाएंगे, हम सबूत जो है कानून बनाएंगे. तो तरह तरह के लोग जो है ये मसला राजनीति में है, ये ऐसे चलता ही रहेगा.
कितनी 70 साल, ये भी तो संविधान का अपमान है. Justice delayed is justice denied.
The Vishwa Hindu Parishad expressed its displeasure over the delay, warning of a Dharam Sansad on the 31st of January.
कौन से मुकदमे को कौन तय करेगा, कौन सुनेगा, इसका निर्धारण धर्म के आधार पे होने लगेगा. वो इस देश की न्याय व्यवस्था और लोकतंत्र के लिए एक पीड़ादायक दिन होगा.
The delay in the hearing of the title suit is only putting more pressure on the Modi government. With Paulami Saha and Anisha Mathur, Bureau Report, India Today.
Are opposition lawyers guilty of deliberately trying to derail and derail the Supreme Court hearings in the Ram Janmabhoomi case? And is this being done to ensure that the Ram Janmabhoomi case is not heard before the general elections? Is the anger of Hindu bodies like the Vishwa Hindu Parishad justified? Joining us on the Newsroom Showdown, I want to introduce first national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Dr. Sambit Patra. Joining us also on this broadcast, member of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board, Mahmood Paracha, squaring off against him, representing the Hindu Mahasabha, Vishnu Jain, and Gaurang Kant is an advocate. I want to go across to Mahmood Paracha first because, you know, today we had Rajiv Dhawan argue that Judge UU Lalit had to recuse himself, because of which this matter will now be heard at the end of January. We're already seeing anxiety, frustration, heartbreak build amongst the Pandits, the seers, and all those who want the Ram temple. The fact is that UU Lalit appeared as an advocate in a contempt case against Kalyan Singh. That's the basis which was cited to have today's hearing adjourned, to have a new bench set up. This just seems like delaying tactics. That this whole gang, whether it's a Kapil Sibal or Rajiv Dhawan, they've all decided that find some pretext, some reason, isko delay kar do, tarikh pe tarikh. That's the game.
Mr. Rajiv Dhawan today, to be fair to him, otherwise I am not a big fan of his. He said, and it is his duty as a lawyer to point out to a judge that there exists a condition which might, if brought to the notice of the judge, he might recuse himself. So that was his duty as a senior lawyer to point this out to the honorable judge. And he said that despite this fact, I have and my clients have full faith in you, you can still continue. So he did not say that you recuse yourself. So it was the decision of the honorable judge that he took this decision and in his own wisdom. Now the second thing is that today's date was not for a hearing. In any case, there was to be a date fixed for the hearing.
First
that is exactly what has happened.
Put a question mark.
RSS
Once again, UU Lalit used to be one of our foremost lawyers before he became judge. As judge of the Supreme Court, his record is sterling. Now you cast a doubt in a case as important as the Ram Janmabhoomi case, which is being looked at across the country. The next 5 justices, the 4 next chief justices are on that.
In fact, he said, Mr. Dhawan said,
you raised that question.
I have full faith in you.
Yeah, of course. But you raised that question. You planted the seed of doubt, and that's it. Sir, this is delaying tactics.
No. I am telling you, this was a tactic to save a future delay. This was definitely, otherwise Justice UU Lalit might have been pointed out at any stage. So Mr. Dhawan did the right thing to bring to the notice of the judge that this is the situation, but we have full faith in you.
Sambit Patra,
had he done this
that abhi ka delay better than delay later, that instead of lots of hearings happening and then the case gets delayed or UU Lalit recuses then, therefore it's better ki aaj hi delay ho gaya.
See, Rahul, you have to understand one thing. The basic contention of
the basic. One second, Sambit Patra, I come back to you, Paracha.
The basic topic of your debate is whether there is a delay tactics which is going on the court of law. Let me tell you, there are 2 sides. One side which wants delivery of the verdict at the quickest possible time. And there's the other side which wants delay and derailment of the verdict. We have seen too many coincidences, I would say, too many instances to say that they're just coincidences. Number one, we had seen Kapil Sibal going to the court and saying that, my lord, it should be heard only after 2019. We had seen OSC demanding the same 2019. We had seen today as to how Rajiv Dhawan, with all due respect to the senior lawyer, the one who had in fact given up his gown, suddenly wearing the gown for this case and going to the court and planting a seed of suspicion. Well, yes, when you have 5 lords sitting there.
Do you find Paracha's explanation satisfactory?
Not at all.
That he said, he cast the aspersion, planted the doubt, but said, aap ho to bhi theek hai, no problem.
I'll tell you, Rahul, if you don't have any doubt, if you don't have any suspicion, you don't mention it. That you have made a mention of it. And remember, in one of the most important cases of this country, it means that, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
No, Mahmood Paracha, respond to this. If you have no doubt, why cast an aspersion? Why mention it? If it's not an issue, let it be. You planted a doubt, so now don't be naive.
No. Tomorrow some press report would have come. In the middle of the hearings. So let's say halfway in the hearing, a press reports come that Justice UU Lalit was a lawyer. Then it would have been, he would have recused himself then. What is a better situation today when the hearing was only for fixing a future date for actual hearing or in the middle? So it was a call which was to be taken by Justice UU Lalit. It is a better thing because the Babri Masjid side wants this hearing to be heard, to be finished as soon as possible because we have an open and shut case. Why would we want a delay? And Mr. Kapil Sibal was not kept as a lawyer after 2017. He's forgetting this. And he was appearing for Sunni Waqf Board, which is an organization which is formed by Yogi's government. So Mr. Kapil Sibal was appearing as a lawyer for all practical purposes. UP government.
Okay, Sambit wants to respond before I go to the other guest. Yes, Dr. Patra.
He has to understand.
Mr. Paracha, you can't monopolize the debate. You've had your say, I come back to you. Let Sambit Patra counter you. I come back to you.
This is absurd when Mr. Pracha goes ahead to say that Mr. Kapil Sibal was a representative of Mr. Yogi Adityanath, and it cannot get more absurd. Secondly, and extremely importantly, only a few days ago, 3 days ago, when this judge, the bench was formed, remember Mr. Jilani, Jafaryab Jilani, coming out and saying that it would have been better if a Muslim would have been appointed to the bench. That a Muslim is not there, it's not fair. And then today we have Mr. Rajiv Dhawan coming up and casting aspersions, and then Mr. Patra saying that, well, it was just a doubt, we had nothing to worry about it, supposedly in the future. Remember, Mr. Rahul, that in the past few months, I would say a year or so, we had seen the way these so-called lobbyists have been handling the issue of Supreme Court. We have seen the Judge Loya case. The case went to the extent where there was an impeachment case against the Chief Justice of India. We have seen cases after cases as to how aspersions have been cast on the Supreme Court. And on this extremely sensitive issue, the aspersion that was cast today, in fact, has again delayed it. And that's why I say what the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, had said, that, well, he just said Congress, I would say Congress and its bodies, which are constantly trying to derail this extremely important case, is telling.
Let's hear from Gaurang Khan. Mahmood Paracha argues that it's better that this matter was raised today, that UU Lalit has recused himself. Later press reports would have come after multiple hearings. If UU Lalit had recused himself, then it would have delayed the matter. Aaj delay ho gaya, अच्छा है.
Well, I'm so surprised to hear a statement like this by Mr. Paracha, to the extent that Mr. Lalit was not even involved in this particular matter. If he was appearing for any of the parties, he was appearing for Kalyan Singh in a different, not connected to this particular litigation. So it was a contempt proceeding in which he was appearing. It had nothing to do with this, and he would have actually recused himself. He was well aware. To cast an aspiration like that, put a seed of doubt in the judge's mind, you actually don't want the judge to hear this matter. And that's exactly what Mr. Dhawan had done. So it is not just an innocent thing which he had pointed to the court. He had actually made the judge uncomfortable, and that's exactly what he had done. Any sensitive judge, honest judge like Mr. UU Lalit would have recused himself, and that's exactly what Mr. Dhawan wanted, and this is a delay tactic and nothing else. And they have succeeded in that. They have succeeded in pushing it from today to 29th.
Now, Mahmood Paracha,
so
the other point that's being raised is that this is the first time there is no judge from the minority community, no Muslim judge, even though I believe judges have no religion, but it's being pointed out that usually in a bench of this nature, when an important matter pertaining to religion is being heard, there's a religious dispute, there is generally a judge from a minority community. That's not there. You know, is it even fair, Paracha, to raise this question? These are 5 of the top judges of the Supreme Court, all of whom are either sitting Chief Justices or will be Chief Justices in the line of succession. Why look at their religion? Why even point this out? That's not fair.
All India Muslim Personal Law Board also has condemned this statement of Mr. Jafaryab Jilani, that he has casted aspersions. So don't blame All India Muslim Personal Law Board for this. There are some individuals who, like Mr. Salman Nadwi, who have got dubious characters, who create a situation to weaken Babri Masjid's case. As I am saying, Babri Masjid case, anybody who's for Babri Masjid case will want this hearing to be heard on a priority basis, day-to-day basis, and let this matter be over, because we have an open shut case. Babri Masjid was there for everyone in the world to see. So we have no interest in postponing. It is only RSS and BJP who want this matter to be postponed, but they want to place the blame on the Babri Masjid side, and for that they use certain people who are making certain irresponsible
You are using Jafaryab Jilani. So that's the charge. That's absurd. You are accusing the BJP of using the likes of Jafaryab Jilani. Jafaryab Jilani will be horrified when he hears this. Sambit Patra wants to respond.
This is the usual way of functioning of Mr. Pracha. He names everyone and anyone as BJP and RSS agents. Can he be quiet for a while? We all heard him.
Asaduddin Owaisi also.
I think you have to say him. He won't be. Thank you. See, Rahul, as far as who's agent, I'm not the one to decide that. But let me tell you, he said that the All India Muslim Personal Law Board wants a quick hearing on it. But ironically, it was Owaisi, who was also a member, a very important member of All India Muslim Personal Law Board, who went to the public saying that it should be heard after 2019. He says that Jafaryab Jilani, who wanted one of the judges to be a Muslim judge, he is also an RSS agent. Let this show be watched by Jafaryab Jilani. He will decide for himself. Thirdly, and extremely importantly, something is extremely wrong in this. Mr. Jilani says that in this 5-judge bench, you have to have a Muslim. And at one go they say that this is not a case of Astha, this is not a case of faith, this is just a title case. If this is just a title case as per your own submission and what the Supreme Court has said, why should the Supreme Court have a Muslim judge? Because in a matter of land dispute, in a matter of title dispute, this is not an issue of faith according to them.
Is this not very unfair, Vishnu Jain from the Hindu Mahasabha, for Zafar Yab Jilani to say there should be one Muslim judge? It basically means you're looking at a judge by the religion he practices, not by the kind of judgments he gives. It's terribly unfair.
See the standards which we have adopted, because our case is very good on merits and we don't go by whatever the religion of the judge is. We go by our case, we go by our merits, and we want the matter to be heard and argued as soon as possible. But Mr. Rajiv Dhawan has time and again pointed out to the Chief Justice, Justice Deepak Mishra also, that you will not be able to decide this case within your tenure. And he went on saying that if you go and decide this case, I'll read the evidence for 8 months. So, and they also threatened the court to walk out from the court. So if these kind of tactics the Muslim parties are adopting, how this case will be solved?
If Zafar Yab Jilani is asking the wrong question, so is Vedanti.
See, Rahul, I firmly believe that no one in India should cast aspersion on the judges.
I am condemning Zafar Yab Jilani here.
Mr. Pracha, can you please allow me?
Do you condemn Vedanti?
I condemn everyone who casts aspersion on the judges of India. No one should do that. This is the finest court of India, and leave aside India, one of the finest courts of the world.
I condemn Zafar Yab Jilani in the strongest of terms. He should be hauled up for contempt of court.
Mahmood Pracha, you've spoken.
He should be hauled up for contempt of court.
Okay. This is the exact tactics that they're following in the Ram Mandir case also. I object to everyone and anyone who speaks against the judges of the Supreme Court. But having said that, there is a difference. What you do in the street, what you speak outside of the court, and what you do to delay the court case is something totally different. Eminent lawyers and eminent personalities standing within the precincts of the court, raising voice against this case, being heard early, that's a separate issue. Secondly, and extremely importantly, what I mean to suggest over here is, I mean, we have seen constantly the Congress party vying away, shying away from these debates because their spokespersons also don't participate. This kind of teasing mentality, Tariq batao, Mandir ka Tariq batao, but following a totally different tactics inside the court, either through your own Kapil Sibal or through people who support you, is something which the country is watching. And thirdly and extremely importantly, well, yes, patience is important. We should all be patient. But then this is a democratic country. People will ask as to why not a quick hearing.
Okay, see, the point is that you can say the right thing, but when you're in court, all you have to do is just light one matchstick. That's all it takes, Gaurang Khan, to delay 29th of January. You can keep saying, oh, bada bura kiya, this, that. And then the 29th of January, just say one thing which will push it till mid-February, from mid-February to mid-March. Well, then, of course, you're in the middle of election season.
Nirmohi Akhada, Sunni Central Board, Hindu Mahasabha, and Ramlala Virajman. These are the main
and nothing else. You have cast an aspiration on a very honest judge who will be a future Chief Justice of this country, and to say that he's in any way he can't be impartial, or you can't have somebody like him hearing this matter, is nothing else but delaying it. I mean, it is absolutely, this kind of practice should be condemned. We should not encourage this kind of practice at all. And then to go back and say that, we were just trying to point it out and make the judge aware that he's not involved in this particular matter. This was for Kalyan Singh in some remotely connected matter, not in this particular suit. This particular suit only deals with the title of this Ram Janam Bhoomi. So where's the question of Mr. Lalit appearing in any of these matters? So what Mr. Pracha is saying is absolutely wrong to that extent that nowhere he has actually pointed out, it is just you're making the judge uncomfortable and you don't want him to hear the petition, and that is the reason why he has recused himself, because tomorrow he doesn't want any kind of mudslinging on him. And you have been successful in getting it delayed.
No, it's very
push
clear.
To 29th,
as
you
we
do
come
the same
to the
thing.
end of
Why do you want?
Newsroom,
I think you should have faith in the judiciary and in the Supreme Court. It doesn't matter who's hearing this petition.
That an attempt is being made to delay and derail on some pretext or the other. And I'm sure there'll be some new gimmick, some stunt that's pulled on the 29th of January so that there is another hearing. And the fact is, you can call the protests outside the Supreme Court orchestrated and staged, but there is restlessness. People want, there's a big there's a big kumbh happening, there's going to be a Dharam Sansad at the end of the month. There is pressure and anxiety that's building. That's a reality. People aren't saying judge it this way or that, but at least let there be proper hearings, and let it not, in a case where there is so much focus and so much scrutiny, let it not get derailed in this fashion. And Rajiv Dhawan, if it's not an issue, why did you raise it? You can't say, oh, it's not an issue, but I just want to tell you that you appeared for Kalyan Singh. That, no judge is going to accept that. recusing himself is only most likely once you've done that. Sambit Patra, Mahmood Paracha, Vishnu Jain, Gaurang Khan for joining us in the newsroom. Thank you very much. We're slipping into a break. We'll have more for you on the other side. Stay with us. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.